During the prayer, I asked for prayers for people seeking a deeper knowledge of God. I would hope that would apply to all of us. I hope that we're all seeking a deeper knowledge of God. And today's sermon is trying to help us along with that and maybe get us thinking about some things that we really don't normally think about. Now, in our gospel reading, we heard Jesus talk about children. And he said, "Take heed that you do not despise one of these little ones. For I say to you that in heaven their angels always see the face of my Father." And Jesus was talking here about angels. And that's what I wanted us to think about today. Angels are associated with Christmas. But they go far deeper than that. And I think if we really think about this, it can open us up to see new worlds. Of course, angels announce the birth of Jesus to the shepherds. Angels play a role in the Gospel of Matthew. You remember how an angel warned Joseph. Herod was going to try to kill Jesus and go to Egypt. Many Christmas carols feature angels. Hark the herald angels sing. Angels from the realms of glory. Angels we have heard on high. Now, we don't know much about angels. Most people assume that God created the angels, but oddly enough, the Bible does not say that. The Bible does talk about God creating His angels, but the Bible never specifically states that God created all angels. And so the origin of angels, just like the origin of a lot of stuff, is not explained. Now, we're not told how many angels there are. The book of Revelation speaks of thousands, so there are a lot of them. And we don't exactly know what angels are. They are some kind of spiritual being, and that just simply means that they do not have flesh and blood existence. But it doesn't mean they're not real. It just means they have an existence on a different plane than ours. Now, the popular conception of angels is they look sort of like babies with wings on them. There's nothing in the Bible that gives us any indication what angels look like. That's just one of the popular ways they have been portrayed in art. Interestingly, in the book of Genesis, there is an account where there are angels who look and act just like men. They even eat food. So the implication in the Bible is that angels have the ability to take on different forms as the need requires. The word that is translated angel from the New Testament manuscripts literally means messenger. And so from that we would get the idea that angels take messages to people from God. Of course, that's what we see the angels doing in the accounts of the birth of Jesus. The angels took the message to the shepherd. An angel took a message to Joseph. And all those are examples of angels' roles as messengers. But if you look in the Bible, you'll see that angels do a lot more than that. In Acts chapter 5, an angel lets the apostles out of prison. In chapter 12 of Acts, an angel lets Peter out of prison. They also guide people. It was an angel who guided Philip down the road to meet the Ethiopian eunuch. An angel tells a Roman centurion in the book of Acts to send for the apostle Peter. And that is the episode that convinces Peter that the good news of Jesus is for all people. Angels also warn people of trouble, as we talked about. An angel warned Joseph to take Mary and Jesus to Egypt. So angels do more than carry messages. They actually do things. The Bible portrays angels as knowing what is going on here on earth. And they are portrayed as interested in our well-being. Jesus said that the angels rejoice whenever a sinner turns to God. Angels play important roles throughout the Bible. from Genesis to Revelation. For all we see angels doing in the Bible, though, those of us who came from Protestant Christianity don't talk much about angels, except maybe a little at Christmas. There's not much emphasis on angels in Protestant Christianity. There is emphasis on angels, though, in Roman Catholic Christianity and in Orthodox Christianity. And I wanted to talk about one of the aspects of Orthodox Christianity and angels. We've talked about some of this in the past in connection when we talked about guardian angels. And this is the belief that every person has at least one specific guardian angel. Psalm 34 says, "The angel of the Lord encamps around all those who fear him and deliver him." Psalm 91, "He will give his angels charge over you to keep you in all your ways." From our gospel reading, we heard Jesus talk about each child has an angel that is always before God in heaven. There is a passage in Acts chapter 12 that indicates people have an angel assigned to them. In the apocryphal book of Tobit is an account of where Tobit's son Tobias goes on a long journey. An angel accompanies him all the way. And the angel helps make the journey possible by doing little things along the way. Tobias, however, was unaware of the presence of this angel during the journey. That was not revealed to him until after the journey was over. A man named Anthony the Great, a Christian from the 3rd century, wrote this: "When you close the doors to your dwelling and are alone, you should know that there is present with you the angel whom God has appointed for each man. This angel, who is sleepless and cannot be deceived, is always present with you. He sees all things and is not hindered by darkness. You should know that with him is God, who is in every place. There is no place and nothing material in which God is not. God is greater than all things and holds all in his hand." John Climacus from the 6th century wrote, "In the presence of an angel, the soul of the humble is filled with joy. Therefore, when we recognize the presence from the effect, let us quickly hasten to pray, for our good guardian has come to pray with us." About 100 years later, a man named Isaac the Syrian wrote, "The angel who is always near is by nothing so distressed and made indignant as when, without being constrained by some necessity, we deprive ourselves of the ministration of the holy mysteries and the reception of Holy Communion." In the apocryphal book of Enoch, we see how there are many, many angels that were sent to heaven to guard and look over certain aspects of things here on earth. And we see how these angels got attracted to human women, and they had sex with human women, and they bore children with those human women. And it was for that reason, to wipe those people out, that God sent the flood that we associated with Noah and the ark. And so angels were sent by God to rule over and watch over things on earth. That's a little different, though, than the belief that each one of us has a guardian angel. That belief, though, is very prevalent in ancient Christianity. No matter where you are or what you're doing, your angel is with you. Your personal angel is with you at all times. Now, that's not to be confused with the presence of God being with you at all times. Of course, God is always with us. But the guardian angel is seen to be a special, additional help from God. And I want to emphasize that even though angels are spiritual beings, they are still real. They're not ghosts. They are real beings. That means we are never alone. They are with us at all times. One of their jobs is protection, especially when we travel. But they're also there to guide us spiritually and help us gain knowledge. You see, in Orthodox Christianity, the idea is that Satan is always at work trying to chip away at you, trying to lead you down the wrong path. And your guardian angel is there helping you fight against that. And that's actually the main job of the guardian angel in Orthodox Christianity, to protect you against the assaults of the devil. If we go to the Gospels, we see that before Jesus was placed on trial before the Jews, he prayed in the Garden of Gethsemane. And the Gospels tell us that an angel came to him and strengthened him there. In the same way, the belief is that in trying times in our lives, angels give us strength. Even when we are absorbed in the things of the world and are not thinking about God, our angel is there praying to God on our behalf. Even when we feel neglected by God and have lost all hope, our guardian angel is still there praying on our behalf. I know a man who has changed several things in his life recently, and he said that he used to feel like Jesus was a friend, and now he feels merely that Jesus is a distant acquaintance. You can be sure his angel is still there praying to help him. If you look in the prayer book of Orthodox Christianity, you will see a number of prayers made to angels. O angel of God, my holy guardian, keep my life in the fear of Christ. Strengthen my mind in the true way. Wound my soul with heavenly love, so that guided by you, I may obtain the great mercy of Christ God. I lay alone in folliness and idleness, O my God and guardian. Forsake me not. Guide my mind by the prayer to fulfill the commandments of God and to receive from God remission of my sins. Teach me to hate all wickedness. O my guardian, deliver me from all attacks of the enemy. The enemy troubles and tramples me and teaches me to follow my own desires. But you are my God. Forsake me not. Grant me to sing with thanksgiving and fervor to God. Rescue me from foes that trouble me. As the defender and guardian of my life, I receive you from God, O angel, and I pray you free me from all harm. As you have boldness towards God, my holy guardian, pray him to deliver me from the evils which offend me. Have mercy and pray for me, O angel of the Lord, for I have you as my defender for the whole of my life. My God and guardian, give me, by God, forever. Now these are prayers. In Roman Catholic and Orthodox Christianity, it is not unusual to address prayers to angels. Protestants, though, usually do not. And sometimes this is a real impediment for Protestants. Protestants tend to think that if you're praying to an angel, you're substituting an angel for God, but that's not really what's happening. What's happening is that you are asking the angel to intercede with God for you. You are asking sometimes the angel to help you, and there's nothing wrong with that if you believe that God has sent that angel to help you. And you can ask the angel to intercede with you before God. Now, while that might be a foreign concept for Protestants, for Orthodox and Catholics, it is not. So those prayers that I read tell us some of the things angels can do for us. Strengthen us, put love for God in us, guide us away from wickedness and towards right living, deliver us from attacks from the devil, deliver us from enemies, keep us from harm, teach us, pray to God on our behalf, deliver us from accidents and misfortune, guide us to positive thinking, calm our hearts, give us quietness of life. Here's something from the baptismal prayer used in Orthodox Christianity. Yoke to his life an angel of light, to deliver him from every attack of the adversary, from every evil encounter, from the noonday demon, and from evil visions. In Orthodox Christianity, the belief is that all people, whether Christians or not, have guardian angels. It is just that in this baptismal prayer, a special request is given for the work of the guardian angel. Now, a while back we talked in here about the concept that we can support from the Bible, that each of us is mirrored by a heavenly double. In other words, that there is a mirror image of us in heaven right now, a spiritual image. And this is sort of like the idea of the guardian angel. The Orthodox, though, see guardian angels as more than just our protectors and guides. They see them as our friends and companions. Although they are not flesh and blood, they are seen as real beings, real entities. And the Orthodox believe it is possible to feel their presence among us if we are attuned to it. And they say the most important thing we can do to feel their presence with us is to banish fear. If you look in the Gospel of Mark, one of the themes of the Gospel of Mark is fear not. Jesus says that multiple times in the Gospel of Mark. He says it in other Gospels too. But that's one of the themes in the Gospel of Mark. Fear not. You will see if you look in the birth account of Jesus in the Gospel of Luke, when the angels came to the shepherds, what did the angels say? Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy. You see, fear overcomes us. Fear paralyzes us. Fear separates us from God. Fear is a tool that Satan uses. And so we need to banish fear. We need to take Jesus at his word when he says, fear not. We need to listen to what the writer of the Gospel of Mark was telling us when he kept saying, fear not, fear not, fear not. If we can banish fear as much as possible, then maybe we can realize we're not alone. Maybe we can realize that God did not throw us down here on earth in the lion's den to face the perils of life on earth alone. Maybe we can be aware that God gave us a helper. God has sent others with us that are right there beside us, every moment of our lives, working for us, protecting us, guiding us, and leading us. You know, it's sobering when you think of it, and very important, I think, if you take the idea seriously that all people in the world, everybody, has a personal guardian angel that is working on the spiritual plane on their behalf. And I'm talking about everybody, even the people we're told we should hate. You see, they have their own personal angel working for them on the spiritual plane too. And all of those are interacting together and working. Just think of all the interactions there are between people in the world. if each of those people has his or her own guardian angel, there's interactions like that going on the spiritual plane beyond what we can see. I've said before, and I hope if you get anything out of coming here, it's this. I hope that we can get a sense that we are part of something that is way, way bigger than we've ever imagined. And when we get to heaven, we're going to be surprised. We're going to be surprised at true reality. Let's keep in mind that everyone, what if it is true that every human being on the face of this earth, even the ones that the news programs and the television programs and the newspapers and the politicians tell us we should hate, what if they all have their own guardian angels also? What if beyond what we can see, there's so much more going on than we can realize? What if we don't even begin to comprehend anything near it all? What if we only get a glimpse of truth? There's that old hymn, open my eyes that I may say, glimpses of truth thou hast for me. You see, all we see are glimpses of truth. Let's not fool ourselves into thinking that we see it all. Let's keep ourselves open to the possibility that there's so much more going on than we can ever imagine. And let us have at this Christmas season an attitude of awe and wonder. What is happening? Awe and wonder at Christmas season. What if everyone on earth is important to God? Even the ones the newspapers and the politicians tell us we should hate. What if everyone on earth is important to God? And what if there's much more going on than we can see? These braggarts with their loud mouths that go around making statements today, don't follow them. Keep your eyes looking up. And be convinced there is more going on than we can see. And don't automatically close yourself off to the belief that guardian angels are real. You can make the case for that.